Some wars are pretty long. Think of the 30 Years' War, the 80 Years' War, or the 100 Years' War. That actually spent 116 years. But none of those got anywhere close to this massive war that we're going to try to cover within 20 minutes today. I'll be honest, it's going to be a bit simplified since we basically got 20 minutes divided by 781 years, so 1.5 seconds per year, which also means we're already 30 years behind schedule. But then again, it's not like 8 generations of Christians and Muslims were stabbing each other at all times. Or were they? Let's talk about the Reconquista. Historically Facts, Part 15. Let's travel back to the year 711 to set the stage. Europe is still hungover from the fall of Rome that happened 2 centuries ago, and the Iberian Peninsula, basically today's Spain and Portugal, is run by the Visigoths. On paper, the Visigothic kingdom was wealthy, Christian, and centralized, though in reality, like with most medieval kingdoms at the time, it was indeed very brittle and constantly undermined by personal vendettas. North of the Visigothic kingdom, we find the Frankish kingdom, who were essentially the bigger bro in the Gaul region. The kingdoms fought each other before, and during the last deciding battle, the Franks managed to crush the Visigothic army, and even killed their king in battle. Yikes. It did all happen a while ago, so the two kingdoms weren't actively fighting each other, but it did mean that they weren't allies in times of need either. Anyway, to the south of the Visigothic kingdom, if you look past the water, we find Morocco, or back then, the Umayyad dynasty. And no, these weren't just another set of Islamic warlords. They were the world's superpower. Their empire stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the mountains of Persia. The capital of the Umayyads sat in Damascus, but they didn't originally come from there. The massive caliphate started under Prophet Muhammad, who started the lightning conquest from Saudi Arabia, and after many years of Islamic betrayals, the Umayyads turned the Prophet's mission into this massive imperial machine. And at the time, the Umayyads' eyes were focused on North Africa. The Arabs had pushed west for decades, overrunning Byzantine fortresses and forcing the local Berber tribes to convert and submit. Many of those Berbers accepted Islam and joined the New World Order. But that doesn't mean they were exactly friends with their Arab overlords. They were often treated as second-class Muslims by racist governors, which meant they were seen useful, expendable, and conveniently far away from Damascus. This was especially useful for the current Umayyad governor of North Africa, Musa bin Nusayr, who now had tens of thousands of new recruits. But it also brought a new issue to the table, because the new recruits were promised wealth, divine retribution, and all that fancy stuff. But all they got was laughable battles with rogue mountain tribes. They yearned for something big and economically worth it. So the governor looked across the waters of Maghreb and noticed the Visigoth kingdom. To give you some context, the Umayyads believed they had the divine duty to expand Islam into every land that wasn't yet under Allah's rule. That duty has a name, jihad. Though today that word is loaded with politics and fear, back then it simply meant holy war, to spread the faith, enforce Allah's justice, and bring the non-Muslims under submission. You know, as a Christian, that sounds horrible. Let's just make sure these jihadists don't get anywhere close to our... Oh my god, they're here already. Before the Christian Visigoths even realized what was happening, sails were already dotting the southern horizon. In 711, a Berber general named Tariq bin Ziyad crossed the narrow strait with an army of around 7,000 men. Think of it as a bunch of Berbers, a few costly Arabs, and many black banners of the Umayyads waving around. The army landed on